Hey lovely people, I'm just in the kitchen making a soup for tea, and I'm just showing you ways that you can use up your leftovers and your throwouts. That's right, I think so often we throw things out that we really could use. They're nutrient rich and they are food, so it's just about knowing and learning how to turn that into something edible. So I love my green goddess soup. I've got that up on my channel, but I'm just going to show you something that through the week I usually save my how you going looking bits and pieces. These are stems from my organic kale. So of course I'm not going to want to get rid of those. They do have certain flavour and they also have good rich nutrients. Got some ends of my celery, which otherwise would have just gone in the compost. So I've got those. I have got some zucchini cores because I've made myself some fettuccine with zucchini through the week. So these are just the cores that don't get used, and I would usually use those as a thickener in soup. And then I made my potato bake last week and had a couple of potatoes left over that had just been sitting in a container. So pretty much with these few ingredients, I'm going to show you how we can end up with a really nourishing soup. Now I've just put in an onion and some garlic. Smells pretty good. I often select some recipe that's got the high heat, like coconut chicken curry, in order to do the high heat and saute that, but I've just went straight into it today and forgot about that. But that's just a tip that will give you a bit more flavour. At that point you could add some chilli if you wanted to. And I've also got some pretty robust looking celery leaves here, which I'm going to do another recipe for you later, but I'm going to use a few of those. Can be strong, so we don't want to have too much of that. I actually got some homegrown celery today. It's scabious, and that's great because you get a couple of items out of it. So don't throw or waste those tops. Those greens are so nourishing, and today, with the cost of food, cost of living, we've got to learn to make no waste. So I've also got here my beetroot tops. So they've been soaked. I actually fill the sink and I do my veggie wash after I've done a big pickup of veggies, and so I'm going to use those as well. They have a bit of a strong flavour, but look, because the base of my soup is going to be pretty much potato and zucchini, you could do one or the other. Just imagine like a vichyssoise type of soup. You could use a leek instead. I've done an onion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw those in and chop them down. Just a couple of seconds to mulch that down. Looking pretty mulchy. Alright, and another thing I often use is the outer layers of my lettuce. Now if you're buying organic lettuce, there's nothing wrong with those. You just got to give them a good wash, and nutrients are rich. But greens, of course, are the highest nutrient dense foods, and I've got a couple of sprigs there of parsley. You can really change this if you want to into a, I've got parsley, so it might give a bit of an Italian slant if I want to add a little bit of basil as well. Then of course if you wanted to try a bit of coriander and go with a slant on, you know, a lime leaf or something, you might want to give it a bit more of a Thai overtone. Right, so we're going to chop that down as well. Now it's quite full. So the key is to chop down. If you get everything smooshed down nice, when you're adding your litre of water or two, then you really won't be a big burden at the end to blend. Now, because I've got so much veggie matter, I'm going to actually halve this and cook a couple of batches, because I make goslemi through the week, and I've got this leftover mix, which was just a bit of cheese, some greens, spinach. I think it was mainly spinach, but it did have some sauteed onion and bits. I threw that in the freezer because I didn't use it all up, and that's just going to go in my soup too now. So because I've got so much, I'm going to double batch this. I will halve my mixture, pour some out, and I'll do, because I've got another Thermomix, I'll do another litre or so of soup in my other one. Of course, you could make 2 litres of soup in this, and I often make 2 litres of green smoothie as well. But I probably got a little bit too much, a bit top heavy there. So I'm just going to pour some of that out. That'll become another batch of soup. Look, you can add broccoli, you can add sweet potato, whatever you want, but this is just really shiny, showing scraps. Scraps can be used up. So a good tablespoon or 2, I'll keep that one for my other soup. Okay, 1 litre of water. And pretty much at the end of this, I'm just going to guess that, pretty much at the end of this I'll add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Pop in some pepper now, but you may also like to flavour it up a bit with a bit of extra salt, depending how salty your stock paste is. Some people like to halve that recipe. And I could have put ginger, could have put a lot of things in this, but this is pretty much a leftover green soup. So I usually cook it for about 15 minutes. Now that the onion has already been sauteed, and a really nice, easy, nutrient-rich soup for, this cooler weather. Nice to sometimes take a soup to lunch, pack in your thermos to work, and sometimes, make it a bit different by shoving some pasta through it as well. So I hope that inspires you. Use up your leftovers. Food is too expensive to waste these days, and I just love that having a Thermomix helps. No waste goes in everything. Throw it through soups, throw it through, you're sometimes making up different pasta sauces and things like that. So give that a go. Stick some things in the freezer if you don't want to do it straight away, and see when you've got a good bag of it, and come back to this video.